Hello, my name is Robin Wilson. I've been asked to review the LG Super UHD TV, which is a 4K model released in 2018, which is 55 inches, and you can see it behind me. It's got Forza Horizon 4 on it, which it's just come out I think last week, and that really showcases some of what the TV can do. In terms of the HDR effects, etc. So this TV has a 4K resolution, which is Ultra HD, which is actually 3840 pixels by 2160. So it's quite a lot more than 1080p. So that's that, which is 1920 by 1080. So it's kind of double that really. So it's HDR, which is high dynamic range. Which gives you brighter images, higher contrast, vivid colours, and just generally a better picture. As you can see, it looks pretty good on Forza Horizon 4. So the HDR is an effect which helps to make video better, but it has to be on the source. So the video must be recorded it must be captured in HDR for it to be able to be outputted in HDR. The TV does have an HDR effect where it tries to make non-HDR video HDR compatible, but obviously you're better if the source image is better, the output's better then. Like with images, if you've got a very small image and make it bigger, it's pixelated. Also picture taking cameras do have HDR, but that's a bit different because they combine together lots of pictures, some with high exposure, some with low exposure, to take the best bits from each picture to give an overall better picture. With video, there's only one video, but obviously it's recorded in the better quality, so that it will be good for games with lots of dark scenes, possibly like Tomb Raider, where the dark scenes will be more visible, so you might help to find the treasures. So the advantages for this model: it's the new 2018 model. It's got a nice narrow border around it, so the picture goes almost to the very edge of the screen. It's very thin, so it can sit quite close to the wall, either on its stand or it can be wall mounted as well. It's got a very easy setup wizard, which I do have another video which I'll probably put online showing the process of setting it up. It's a nice, easy to follow wizard which takes you through it, and it's quite quick. So it's got a nice RF remote, which is here. It's there we go. It's a bit hard to see because it's a bit dark, but I was trying to keep the lights off so you could see what the TV looked like. So the remote is like a pointer. So if you point it at the screen, it comes up with a pointer, and then you press a button. So it just works like the Wiimote on the Wii console, where you point it at what you want. So makes it nice and easy to use. So that's good. It's got a nice remote. It's got a small profile stand which can overlap, so the screen can be bigger than the item of furniture you're standing it on, which I think is an issue with very large TVs because you need a very large piece of furniture. So this has a nice smallish stand which can sit on a normal size table, which is like that. So anyway, so it's and compared to the TV behind it, which is a 2016 OLED LG model, it's got a nicer back to it, this new one, which fits in better and looks more, I'd say, premium. So in terms of the advantages, yes, it's got Netflix and Amazon built in, so you can easily get to those services without having to use a dongle or any other kind of streaming device. It's built into the TV. It's got Dolby Atmos sound, and so those are the key features. What I'd say would be the medium features are that when you buy this TV, when you first set up the TV, the video is set to eco mode, the audio is set to standard without Dolby. So you've got to, if you don't go into settings and configure the TV, you won't get the best out of it. So video is set to eco, audio is set to standard, and also the HDR is switched off. I think maybe that's because it helps it to comply with energy saving ratings, possibly. Also, energy saving mode's turned on. So basically, I think there's lots of options, and they could be a little confusing. You've got to maybe do some research as to what is the best option to pick to get the most out of the TV. So you've got to so turn the video setting to Technicolor Expert, which is the best setting, and that's on the older TVs at LG. It's not available until you update the firmware. I know in the 2016 model it came after it updated the firmware, and that's the best setting to have, because Technicolor are actually using LG TVs to test out their the latest sort of features and settings, and using it as the base standard for what TVs, the settings that TV should have on them. So set that to Technicolor, and then also set the audio to either cinema or game or one of the other settings, and that will turn on the Dolby Atmos. And you've also got to go into the additional settings in the picture mode to switch on Ultra HD Deep Color. If you don't do that, then HDR mode is not enabled. So even if you're using your Xbox One X, which is what this is playing on, I should have said that, then it doesn't use the HDR, even though the Xbox is capable of that. It's basically not advertising the feature to the Xbox. So you've got to turn that on under the additional settings under picture. So it's a little bit hidden away. And I also found that after turning it on, I had to turn the Xbox off and back on again for it to pick it up and switch to HDR. You can tell it's on HDR because at the top right of the screen, when the input switches, it tells you, a little box appears saying HDR, so you know it's enabled, and it does make a difference. So make sure you switch those options after buying the TV, otherwise you won't get the most out of it, and you won't see it. You won't see its true potential. So what I'd say now are the disadvantages possibly. I couldn't get the Google connectors to work because it does have voice control on it, built into it on the remote control here. If you press this button, you can speak to it and tell it to do something. So when I said go to BBC, go to ITV, it just told me I needed a cable box, but the TV is tuned to an antenna, but it wasn't doing that. So it just basically said no. So I had to use the remote and go to BBC myself. And the Google Assistant, it said I had to configure it on the Google Home device, but then when I searched for devices, even though the TV's on the Wi-Fi and so is the phone, it still didn't find any devices. So I followed the instructions, but it refused to connect. Also, what I found is that because there's an LG TV behind this one, and this remote is RF based, it doesn't need to be pointed directly at the TV to work. It auto configures with the other TV, and you end up operating both TVs simultaneously. So I think if you've got more than one LG TV within 10 feet, which is probably normally unlikely, then you'll find that you are operating both of them. There may be a way to disable that, and then I just unplugged the one behind, which is the simplest solution. Also during the configuration wizard, when I put in the Wi-Fi password, it told me the Wi-Fi wasn't connected, but then it was connected. So that was slightly confusing, and that could just be a one-off possibly. And so this TV, that sort of sums up the features. So it basically has everything that the high-end TVs have, except for the only feature that it doesn't have is OLED, which is where you have organic light emitting diode. So your standard LED TVs, including the Samsung Q LED, they are all LED TVs which have a backlight behind them. Whereas the OLED, each individual pixel is self-illuminated. So what that means is that your blacks can be blacker than black, because basically the pixels turn off. So when you have a black area on the screen, it can be true black, which whilst LED technology is constantly improving, they can't quite achieve that. So I think, but the OLED TVs, which LG also make, and the one behind is an OLED TV, that helps to increase, I think, the contrast a bit more. So the other things you can do, you can actually alter the settings on this TV to increase sharpness and different things. But I thought once I'd turned on the other settings and turned off the eco mode, the everything else didn't make so much difference. And I think it's best to leave it as recommended by Technicolor. And so I spent some time evaluating the picture, and I think those are the best sound and video settings, and it does make a big difference. So just to sum up, it's a good TV, it's got nice features, it looks nice, picture goes to the edge of the screen, it's 4K, and just make sure if you do buy this model that you go into the settings and turn off the eco mode and turn on the HDR, because if and the Dolby Atmos. If you don't, then the TV isn't doing all it's capable of, I'd say. So I hope this review has been useful, and I definitely would recommend this TV and LG TVs in general. I think it does give a good output, it looks nice, and it's a good model. So hope you enjoyed this review, and any questions, I think you'll post them on YouTube when I upload this video. Thank you, and goodbye, and good night.